Every one of us has that old crappy phone to which he doesn't even remember the password to. Look at mine, for example. Is that a bullet hole? But what if we made something out of that phone? I decided to run my own Homelab on it, like a real hacker. But how are we going to do that, you may ask? Simple. First, let's remove Google. Get rid of that junk so I can keep the phone on 24/7. Second, install a Linux kernel so I can utilize the phone like a server. I want apps that will make it easy to connect to it from my computer. I want to store files easily, and I also want a web server. Why a web server, you may ask? Well, cause I want a web server. Why? No idea. Let me have my web server. It may come in handy someday. I just love reminiscing about getting rid of that expensive website subscription. So let's get started. The first thing I did was remembering the password. Then I enabled the developer mode, which gave me the ability to allow OM unlocking. I think that was the important bootloader part or something. I also enabled the USB debugging option, so I can connect the phone to my PC. Once connected, I downloaded the USB driver for Motorola and the SDK tool for Android. When I extracted the SDK tool, I opened the Windows terminal in that folder and typed this command, allowing me to check if the device is connected to the computer. I gave the needed permissions and started up the bootloader. I got the key from the phone with that command, then pasted the output so I can copy the full string like that and send it to Motorola so they can send me the unlock key by email. To be honest, I was ready to wait days for that key. They sent it in minutes, so that was a pleasant surprise. After unlocking, I booted up the phone and used the Travel app to help me choose the right image for the ungoogled OS I needed to download. When I downloaded LineageOS, I transferred it to my desktop and wasted my time downloading some useless Motorola firmware for safe booting or something. We'll talk about that later. Then I tried connecting the phone via the USB so I can start installing the OS. It didn't work. I forgot to re-enable this setting after restart. So funny, 3 hours of my life wasted. Whatever, let's now check how many slots does this device have. That's important so I know where does the OS live. Let's see on which slot are we. That will be slot B. Great. And now let's reboot into fast boot mode. The only thing left for us is to burn the OS. So let's do that. Oops, I ran into a bit of an error here. There was not enough space on the disk. Let's just delete the current partition and we should be good to go. Not partition, partition B. Let's now delete the user data and reboot into the device with the standard bootloader. And let's now forget the Motorola stupid firmware file. I want you guys to take a look at that command and make sure, but like 100%, with 100% of your brains, never type that in your own machines. So I wasted so much time on that. I want to literally find the person who wrote the article that I used to guide me through this setup and strangle him. This took so much time to just fail and fail. I decided to ask ChatGPT and he just told me to skip it. Everything worked fine. Folks, if something doesn't work the way it should, just skip it. It will probably be fine without it. That's my new tech mantra. This is a time lapse of like 10% of the firmware file fixing hunt that I went through. Let's reboot and enjoy our sweet ungoogled OS. Look at that sweet loading page. I will turn you into the best home app ever. Just watch. And guys, this is how you set up your phone to be more power efficient and as a bonus even more privacy friendly. Now let's set up our brand new device. I did a very basic setup, connected the phone to Wi-Fi, got myself a second browser, and now it's just time to do something interesting. Let's install Termux, the terminal for Android. That way we can fully control what software and services we want running, and after that I will SSH into it from my laptop. Here I just disabled the battery optimization so that the app can run in the background. Made up a password for my user and installed and activated SSH. So we're back on the laptop. I managed to connect my phone. Now let's verify the name of my user and let's install the most important tool from demo. Now I need to give Termux access to the whole Android file system so I can upload and download files with the Termux setup storage command. You can see me copy pasting some commands so that a script on startup is created. My idea is if the phone restarts, the SSH server and the other apps should start without my interference. I make this directory for the script, create the file, use the log command so it doesn't stop the process or go to sleep, sshd to start the SSH server, and that's it for now. Let's fix the script's permissions and make executable, and I also need to download the Termux on boot app on the phone. You can also see me playing with a very cool tool, WinSCP. This is probably one of my favorite tools. It can be used for file transfer over an SSH connection. You just log in with your SSH data and you start browsing your files. You can tell me in the comments below if you would like an in-depth tutorial of this app. Now I downloaded the screen recording that you saw in the video on my laptop through the app. And let's set up the web server with Apache. Download and launch .httpd, fix that server name error in the config file by changing the address. Now process kill and start it again. And voila! Let me show you that it works. Let's also get Nginx, cause why not, and ChatGPT said it's better. Okay, I'm downloading wget and tar so I can run the last application of the video, file browser. So I downloaded the wrong version by mistake. This is the right one. Let's download and extract. Let's make the binary executable and let me put it in the binary directory. So now I believe we can launch the file browser. Perfect. Now I want to pick a password for my admin and to make the process part of the boot script. This command should be perfect for running in the background. And I will just add it in the startup script here. Great. I set up the password and let's see how the file browser looks like. That's just amazing. Everything that you ever need. We can browse all the directories of the Android phone. It has image viewer, video player, basically all apps that you ever use, and a storage monitor so you know how much free space you have. So guys, that was the video. Thank you for staying till the end, and if you liked it, I plan to do a lot of more fun mini tech projects. I'm an engineering student that just tries their best to make good videos, so if you enjoyed, please subscribe and see you in the next one. And also, because this is my first video, please comment what tech, Linux or AI topics interest you so I can just make a video out of them. Bye, see you in the next one.